Hi, my name is Martin Harris from Yamaha, and I'm here today at Sweetwater to talk to you about the fantastic new top-of-the-line digital workstation, the Genos. We're going to take a quick whistle-stop tour of this instrument, showing some of the key features and fantastic sound quality that this instrument delivers. And we're going to start with the fantastic piano sound, the most important sound for a keyboard player. And we have two iconic pianos here, the CFX and the C7. I'm going to start by showing you the CFX complete with DSP soundboard. We also have 550 amazing styles in the instrument, which enable you to play songs to, but also create your own music. And we've really stripped this back to a very simplistic arrangement, but very, very high quality. For example, we can take an unplugged style, which just features some steel guitar, bass and drums. You may want to be creative and fill that out. We can choose from a whole host of multi-pad content, which features lots of strumming guitars, for example, so we could just add something. We could also combine time signatures, which is really, really inspiring, because we could take, for example, a 6/8 unplugged style, and this time add a 4/4 strum. And then maybe just add an easy guitar line, pedal steel guitar line. Staying with the creative aspect, this time I'm going to take a style, but it's a free play style, but we're going to include an arpeggiator. So we have an arpeggiator engine here, which we can really control with these hardware knobs and sliders. So for example, we could take a style something like this, maybe add a piano at the top. You can first of all use the sliders to create your own mix. And maybe add some arpeggiator. And so on. Staying with the arpeggiator, it's not just about synth sounds. The arpeggiator will also lend itself to great guitar riffs, which are sometimes quite difficult to play for a keyboard player. So, if we want to create a really good band, we can choose some elements from the style. For example, we could take a break pop. But then maybe we'll want to add an extra element. So for example, we could take this. And then we can simply put it all together. And all you need to do now is write some lyrics, write a melody, and you've got a song. And with the onboard 16-track sequencer and audio recorder, you can really easily lay that down, put it on a USB stick, and you're ready to go. So it's instant music production. A really important aspect of the sound is not just the waves, but also the DSP, or the effects. And we have really high quality digital effects on Genos, and we can just call them up very easily. We actually have a voice gateway which allows us to see an overview of all things to do with the sound, whether it's octave settings, EQ, volumes, etc., what voices are selected, and also what DSP types are used. So for example, we could take a fantastic new electric guitar. If I just blow up here the DSP image, we can first of all switch it off so we can hear it without. But if we add that, you can simply choose a parameter and change the tone. Okay, so we can also apply that to the style. So if we take a style, we have up to 11 DSPs now, and we can simply fade some of these great parts in using the hardware sliders. But before I do that, I just want to also explain to you about the drums, because the drums is the backbone to all music production, music performance, and the drums on Genos are at a whole new quality level, whereby we've recorded 6 kits in different environments. You can hear the ambient of the room. You can also hear the dynamic expression. But most importantly, first time on a hardware instrument, is the fact that we have wave cycling, which means that every time a drum is hit, whether it's a cymbal or a drum, it's actually not playing the same sound, but it's altering it very, very slightly, which adds to the realism. So for example, if you hear that snare, every time it's struck, it's slightly different. Okay, let's bring in the rest of the band. There you hear the DSP power. Okay, staying with the drums, we really have a huge variation. So we could take a pop or a rock kit, but what I find really interesting, some of the vintage kits. So here we have a vintage open kit. You can really hear that 60s quality. Or we could take that same vintage kit and mute it to create a much more compressed, dense sound. Great for maybe some American funk. Maybe you like a little bit of jazz. So we have a brush kit, and the brush kit really inspires you to play. But what I'm going to do is also feature the new C7 grand piano, which really cuts through for rock and roll, for pop and jazz. But first of all, let's just hear this brush kit. I mean, you have a real pro jazz player with you here. Another really important sound for a keyboard player are the organ sounds, and we have many, many different organs to choose from with great graphical representation. But really importantly, we have the hardware sliders, which means you can actually register that organ, doesn't matter what you've got in the screen. But let's just pull up the organ sound here and just show you how that works very clearly. And okay, let's get that jazz drummer started again. This time I think he's playing with some sticks. We've already talked about the high quality drums, which are so important for any type of music production or performance. What I really enjoy, which is I think really for my age group, the 80s sounds. And we've also really invested a lot of time and energy in creating fantastic 80s drum sounds with synth sounds as well. And you can really have a lot of fun with that. Or maybe something a little fatter and more upbeat. Whilst we're on the subject of 80s synth sounds, we also have fantastic lead synth voices which work so well with the new joystick controller. So expressive and, well, let's just have a listen to this. All of the voices and styles in this instrument are super high quality. Unfortunately, we don't have the time to go through every single one. But I would like to just show you one of my favorites, and that's the fantastic new Keno strings. So we've really concentrated on a more film score approach. We have violins playing hard left and right. We have the other strings, violas, cellos and contrabasses playing in the middle. We have room ambience and we have some beautiful vibrato. They really are designed to play on the keyboard. We can take a free play style and we can create a movie score in real time. Okay, using the strings, I'm going to play something a little bit more dramatic now, again using a style, but this time I'm also going to feature one of the brand new SA2 voices, super articulation, and we have much more controllability now with 3 articulation buttons. So we've only really seen the tip of the iceberg here. There's so much more to explore. It doesn't matter what style of music you're into, there's something here for everyone. Not only does it sound amazing, but it looks fantastic with a brand new design, and we have a really intuitive user interface, which makes it so easy to find your way around with this large LCD screen. And of course you have ultimate control with the new hardware knobs and sliders, and together with a very, very high quality output, you have everything you need. If you want more information, please speak to your Sweetwater sales engineer. Thank you.